It calms Macy down. She's sleeping now, so smooth jazz for the cat. Um, all right, this should be going out to YouTube and Facebook. Let me make sure I got my chat opened up. What did I call the stream? Ninkasi, Reptilian Goddess of Beer and City of Lagash. But I'm actually also going to teach you about the eightfold way of black magic, especially something known as the Scourge, and they're putting more Babylonian symbolism, right? I'm trying to sing. Yeah, I didn't forget. That's the, welcome to Babylon. That is our newest statue outside the courthouse in New York, dedicated to Ruth Bader Ginsburg and the abortion agenda. Alright, yeah. They've been uncovering some interesting news, including a tavern they just found in Iraq, which is Babylon, and the ancient city that was lost called Lagash. And they found a tavern with bread in it and beer, and I made a video about, here, let me turn this. I don't know how loud that sounds on my stream, because that's playing through my radio. That's the actual radio. So, let me pull the chat up for YouTube. There should be people coming in now. And I put a message out onto Facebook to sub to my new YouTube channel. Alright, we got a few people in here. How loud's the jazz music? It's playing, well, it ain't gonna play for that long. Alright, cool. And yeah, alright. And we on, oh, I gotta reload it. Facebook, okay. And this should be fun because I've had a few days to bookmark things for this, and for example, yeah, alright, the Ruth Bader Ginsburg thing. Ruth Bader Statue Memorial. Yeah, I just searched for it. This thing. This is more, this is at the Daily Mail. This is them putting Babylonian pagan symbolism right in plain sight. And it's going to tie in with what we're going to talk about. Look, that's Roman influence. You see the mask on the statue there? This. That is a fertility goddess. And yeah, her hair is in Baphomet horns. And as you see, her body is mutilated at the arms and the feet. It's, yeah. And people are like, what is this satanic, sheeny voodoo? It don't even match with the architecture of New York. It's gold. It's not even sculpted good. The artist is not, I mean, come on. And in the meantime, what were they doing? They were tearing down statues of our founding fathers. This was something more sinister than what communists do, because they didn't erect statues of themselves like Joe Biden statue and what normally happens in fascist regimes, right? No, we're seeing Babylonian stuff go up, and now we're getting 5,000-year-old tavern with food still inside discovered in Iraq. Archaeologists found benches, an oven. Let me turn the we're just going to switch the jazz music off. I don't know how loud that was. I'll see how it sounds when I play the video back, because I might do that more often. I have that channel on a lot. One, it calms the cats down. It's the classical music station. And two, I play it in the morning when I'm thinking about stuff to write for my book. It helps you think. Helps me think, and the cats like it. Dougal absolutely loves Mozart. Anytime I play Mozart, his little cat ears perk up, and he looks around. Yeah, so and then depends what mood I'm in. Then I could be playing Run DMC rap music or Pantera. It just depends what mood I'm in. That's why when people ask me what kind of music I listen to, I can't answer them. Because then we even got Babylonian music. I was going to play this for the stream, but I decided not to. This is Sumerian music. But what I am going to play for you is an introduction to
the ancient Sumerian language.
Yeah, I'm going to let you hear this. It's only about 44 seconds long. And this is about the city of Lagash. It's called the Entemena of Lagash. And you're going to hear her speak ancient Sumerian. Basically, she's talking Reptilian. And this is what the cuneiform Sumerian... And now, there is an English translation that pops up down here. So I won't put it up to full screen in case you can read it. If you're on your phone, you probably won't be able to. But you'll hear some of the words in here, like Enlil. And here, let me just play it. Yeah. This is what real Sumerian sounds like.
The ancient Sumerian language. The inscription by Entemena of Lagash. Enlil, lugal kurkur aba, dinger dingereneke, inim ginanita ningirsu sharabiki enesur, mesilim, lugal kishke inim ishtaranata, eshgan berakiba nabiru, ush, ensi ummake, nam inimma diridirishe eyak, naruabi ipad, eden lagashe ingen. Ninirsu ursag enlilake, inim sisanita umada damkhara edaa. Inim enlilata sa shugal bishu sa khardo takabi eden na kibani us-us. Eya natum en silagash pabilga en metena en silagash kake en nakpale en si umada ki edasur. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, please share, like, subscribe. That was pretty cool, right? This channel, you can go and listen to all kinds of cool languages, but that is what ancient Sumerian sounds like. So it's what the reptilians would sound like, because and that's another thing I'm discussing in my book, is the cuneiform language itself, why they use a different mathematical system. The cuneiform, if you look at it up here, it kind of looks like chicken scratch, right? Or something that would be real easy to write if you had 3 long claws, and I'm not even joking about that. A lot of the magical languages, we'll do a video on magical languages. I lost that lecture on my original Kinninigan. Yeah, well, I'm sick of complaining about losing videos. So, that's what ancient Sumerian sounds like. Pretty cool, right? Is anyone new to the idea of reptilians and the Anunnaki? I found this. This is from Ancient Aliens. They will never invite me on Ancient Aliens, but this is Season 6, Episode 3, and it talks about the Anunnaki, bioengineering humans. I'm going to play the first minute of it. Yeah, straight out of Ancient Aliens. You think they'll invite me on the show?
Ancient tales of strange, otherworldly creatures.
There was a time when giants were upon the earth. Sumerians were living with their gods, the Anunnaki.
Legends of gods who came from the heavens to create mankind.
They were, in a sense, extraterrestrials. They walked the earth. They ruled people.
And clay tablets revealing an extraterrestrial agenda.
Potentially, they kind of upgraded the human race and used them as sort of a slave species.
Did alien visitors really change the course of humanity in the distant past?
Our ancestors received help, and that help came from nowhere else but up there.
Yeah. They upgraded humans, and I think I know what they upgraded us from. And some of you might know my theory. One of my subs is really triggered by it because she swears they're Nephilim, and I believe that is Sabe, Sasquatch. Yes. So, the plot thickens. That's straight out of Ancient Aliens. That's the first 50 seconds, and you can watch the whole episode. It's season 6, episode 3. I'll give you the link. It's on YouTube. If you want to watch this, I told you. I always find good links for stuff. So now you got Ancient Aliens basically saying the same exact thing that I'm saying, but sort of not all the way. They won't tell you what the reptilians actually look like. They won't tell you how they shapeshift. They'll just tell you that it's possible they were bioengineered, right? So, and then as I said, now they're starting to bring a lot of Sumerian. Now, the city of Lagash, the one she was just talking about in the Sumerian video, was supposedly, this is the symbol of it. This is a reptilian standing on the backs of lions. And we figured out what this symbol means. I'm going to re-upload that video. That is Bel in the Destruction of the Dragon. It's one of the hidden missing books of the Bible. That book was sent to me by a sub. She's probably here in the chat. She's one of my mods. They're back there on the bookshelf. Heads up, we detected copyrighted audio, for Ancient Aliens, which is only why I played a minute of it. And I'll file copyright when I'm done the stream, YouTube. They don't even let you finish your stream. It's like, we'll be alright, alright. If I kept playing it, they would have blocked it. You can't, History Channel, no, right there. So this is a very interesting symbol, isn't it? It's one of the pictures going in my book. In the, I'm not going to say which chapter, but look at that thing. Can you get any more bird-like? I mean, just look at it. And not only just bird-like, it's got the head on this creature, obviously. Looks more, if it was like flat, looks more like a skexis, or an eagle, or a falcon, or a phoenix, or any of the other bird symbols they use. Standing on the backs of lions, this is something about when Daniel rejected paganism and was sent to be devoured by the lions because he wouldn't worship Marduk, and the lions didn't kill him, and the pagans were thrown in with the lions. That's where the term throwing the Christians to the lions comes from. So, more, and it's the symbol associated with Lagash, the lost city of Mesopotamia. Supposedly it was lost, but they found it. Well, look, in all honesty, they bombed the heck out of Iraq. A lot of ancient sites were destroyed. Stuff was looted from there, obviously. Here's another interesting relief. I want to show you some pictures here first. And then I got some more audio we're going to listen to. About Ninkasi. She is the Babylonian goddess of beer. And then I'll show you why that's important, because we're going to look at some stuff from a gentleman called Gerald Gardner, the godfather of Wicca. Not exactly what you think, though. He is a pagan who subverted white magicians, real Wiccans, and infused it with thelemic sex magic and desecrated the art of anyone practicing positive magic. Now listen, there are white magicians, people that know how to practice protective magic. I've met one. Actually, you might know, I met about 2 or 3 of them, actually, through my years. And they're legit people, but they do not practice one of the rites. And I'll show you what that rite is. And that is a rite called the Scourge, which is bloodletting, either from yourself or from a human or an animal. That basically starts the Roman definition of paganism, blood sacrifices to the gods. So, we'll talk about that. And I've got the proof for it, as always. So one of the great rites is the consumption of alcohol and drugs during occult ritual. This was taught by Aleister Crowley. Now I find out that Babylon, I always thought beer was invented in Egypt, but it wasn't. It was invented in Sumeria by the goddess of beer, Ninkasi. And now here's another bird head on a Sumerian wall relief. And we have a giant. Look at the giant. The Anunnaki is only about a foot taller than the humans. The giant is twice their size. And here's another giant. And then we see these same types of reliefs are copied in Egypt. Look familiar, right? That's because you've seen the Egyptian one a million times. But the original one comes from, yeah, you guessed it. So this is more of the stuff like same soup, different bowl. Every pantheon of gods and all the mythology is all copied from Sumeria. So, yeah, interesting, right? That's why that relief's really interesting. So, I'm trying to figure out who was in charge of Lagash. It's on Arkugel. It's not the city of Enlil, or it's not the city of Enki. The city of Enki is Nibiru, actually. That's where Zechariah Stitchin got the word Nibiru. And that's why he's always talking about Enki. The king of Lagash. His name is Eannatum. Okay, Eannatum. He's in my list of Anunnaki in the book. Yeah. Okay. And the brief rise of Sargon of Akkad. You've probably heard that name in history. Here's another interesting, well, it's kind of the same one that from earlier, the bird, but the giant on it. The calf over here. This looks like Celtic. Doesn't that look Celtic? Or Viking? Yeah, but it's Babylonian. Interesting, right? So, how many people in the chat now? Alright, we got 10 viewers here. It's alright. Our sub count's really going to go up tomorrow when we stream Hogwarts Legacy. Don't worry. I'm going to stream to YouTube and probably Twitch too, because I wasn't going to stream to Twitch, but oh, you guys, here, you know what? You guys want to see some reptilian artwork? Let's see, what can I show you? Oh, here we go. As I'm reading the comments, that was sent to me by very talented illustrator, helping me with some Alpha Draconian sketches. Now, does it look that off from what I showed you on those wall reliefs? Except for the wine glass, but hey, you know. That pretty good, right? Cheers. I'm thinking about making, I don't know, I'm going to talk to my illustrator about this, run the idea by her, but maybe we should make a reptilian art book, and I don't know, we'll see, and make it like something that would be published alongside my book, and publish like just more art in it. That's another thing I might do for the Kickstarter, for the idea. Private social media platform, lithographs, signed copies of the book, and this would be for the upper tier stuff. A subsidiary like artwork of Alpha Draconians, which would be like a separate book with just like prints of the artwork in it. And you know, I'm trying to think of things in the Kickstarter. I've been looking at what other writers have been doing. I think it's a good idea. So, still aiming for like April for the Kickstarter. And all these streams I'm doing now, like these are all more or less parts of the book I'm doing. Yeah, I told you I'm going into a lot of detail about it. So, yeah, now they're, like I said, they're bringing up Babylonian news. Now they're saying they found a 5,000-year-old tavern with food still inside in Iraq. The missing city of Lagash after they bombed the heck out of it. Now they found it. And it was... The Anunnaki here was Ionatum. So, I made a video before about the Babylonian goddess of beer. Okay. And her name is Ninkasi. And there's a hymn to her, the beginning of beer in Mesopotamia. The hymn to Ninkasi, Sumerian beer recipe. But I don't have to read this, because when you come to worldhistory.org, and it's for like people that can't see, you could listen to the article. So, and she pronounces the Babylonian words better than I do. So here's a little. All right, so this is about Ninkasi, the goddess of beer. Where's the? Here we go.
The hymn to Ninkasi, goddess of beer. The hymn to Ninkasi is at once a song of praise to Ninkasi, the Sumerian goddess of beer, and an ancient
This way I
recipe
can
for
read
brewing.
comments too.
Written down around 1800 BCE.
I'll turn my
the hymn is no
microphone
doubt
down so it
much
doesn't
older, as
echo too
evidenced
much.
by the techniques it details, which scholars have determined were actually in use long before the hymn was written. Scholar Paul Krivacek states that the hymn reflects the techniques of 1,000 years earlier and notes how, by the time the work was written, there were many different varieties of beer in Mesopotamia and new methods employed in brewing. 83. Most likely, the hymn to Ninkasi was preserved in oral form because it had become a popular song and was finally committed to writing. The light-hearted tone of the verse, and its praise of a drink, and a goddess, many admired no doubt also contributed to its preservation. The beginning of beer in Mesopotamia. Evidence for brewing beer in the Mesopotamian region dates back to 3500 to 3100 BCE at the Sumerian settlement of Godin Tepe in modern-day Iran, where, in 1992 CE, archaeologists discovered chemical traces of beer in a fragmented jar dating to the mid-4th century BCE. The same site also yielded evidence for early wine making, and it is thought that the idea of brewing beer arose from baking. The fermentation process evident in grains, which may have been left out unattended, could have inspired the creation of both wine and beer. Although this theory has long been accepted, scholar Stephen Berkman notes that grains may have actually been cultivated specifically for brewing beer. He writes, though bread was basic to the Mesopotamian diet, botanist Jonathan D. Sauer has suggested the making of it may not have been the original incentive for raising barley. Instead, he has argued, the real incentive was beer, first discovered when kernels of barley were found sprouting and fermenting in storage. 292. However, it was first discovered, as Berkman notes, beer soon became the ancient Mesopotamians' favorite drink. 292. Although the craft of brewing would eventually be practiced across the region, it began in the small village of Godin Tepe and, almost certainly, was initiated and cultivated by women. Godin Tepe was a Sumerian.
Okay, hold on. I muted my mic. Yeah, I got my spectacles on so I can see. I wanted to pause there. The article, if I let it go, it's like 12 minutes long. It's long. But where she just stopped, there is a YouTube video here, and I want to play it. It's a little short video more about beer in Samaria. So I wanted to play that because if you heard the last line she said, in a small village of Godin Tepe, which sounds like Göbekli Tepe, they were built by Babylonians both. I made videos about Göbekli Tepe, and the vulture symbols there, which are reptilian, and almost was initiated and cultivated by women. Women gave us beer in ancient Babylon. Now, there's a metaphor to this about women unleashing evil on the world, Pandora's box. So laugh if you want, but woke people are probably saying, yeah, women, go. But it was women made the beer in ancient Samaria. That's what it just said. So anyway, then it became popular on the Silk Road. So I'm going to play this video that's here.
The Hymn to Ninkasi, circa 1900 BC. Born of the flowing water, tenderly cared for by the Nin Husag. Born of the flowing water, tenderly cared for by the Nin Husag. Having founded your town by the sacred lake, she finished its great walls for you. Ninkasi, having founded your town by the sacred lake, she finished its great walls for you. Your father is Enki, lord of Nidimud. Your mother is Ninti, queen of the sacred lake. Ninkasi, your father is Enki, lord of Nidimud. Your mother is Ninti, queen of the sacred lake. You are the one who handles the dough, and with a big shovel, mixing it in a pit, the bapir with sweet aromatics. Ninkasi, you are the one who handles the dough, and with a big shovel, mixing in a pit, the bapir with date honey. You are the one who bakes the bapir in the big oven, puts in order the piles of hulled grains. Ninkasi, you are the one who bakes the bapir in the big oven, puts in order the piles of hulled grains. You are the one who waters the malt, set on the ground. The noble dogs keep away even the potentates. Ninkasi, you are the one who waters the malt set on the ground. The noble dogs keep away even the potentates. You are the one who soaks the malt in a jar. The waves rise, the waves fall. Ninkasi, you are the one who soaks the malt in a jar. The waves rise, the waves fall. You are the one who spreads the cooked mash on a large reed mat. Coolness overcomes. Ninkasi, you are the one who spreads the cooked mash on large reed mats. Coolness overcomes. You are the one who holds with both hands the great sweet wort. Bring it with honey and wine. You the sweet wort to the vessel. Ninkasi, lacuna. You the sweet wort to the vessel. The filtering vat, which makes a pleasant sound, you place appropriately on top of the large collector vat. Ninkasi, the filtering vat, which makes a pleasant sound, you place appropriately on top of the large collector vat. When you pour out the filtered beer of the collector vat, it is like the onrush of the Tigris and Euphrates. Ninkasi, you are the one who pours out the filtered beer of the collected vat. It is like the onrush of the Tigris and Euphrates.
So that was an actual Sumerian cuneiform tablet about the hymn to Ninkasi. I never read it. I was going to read it one time, so I figured I'd just let it play. So yeah, and so there's the history of beer. It was made in Babylon by the Anunnaki goddess Ninkasi. She is an Anunnaki, one of the ones created by Marduk. That's another story. So, why beer and why incense and why all this stuff? So, hold on a second. Is this the Okay. So besides beer, there's another thing we get out of Babylonia, which is very interesting, and I have some to show you. Let me get my shaman's box. Hold on a second. Anunnaki bro, if you're in the chat, you're going to like this. Hold on. And anyone in here who's Catholic or Muslim. So this is something I'm going to play this next video. It's the history of myrrh and frankincense and how it was guarded by winged serpents in Babylon. not just Babylon, all throughout the Middle East. This is frankincense. This is myrrh. I got a shaman's box here. These are incense I had. These are Syrian rue seeds. They burn these to keep the jinn away. These are two of the gifts given to Jesus Christ for a reason. I will make another video about incense and the occult and what they're used for. The whole history. Frankincense and myrrh, two of the most sought after things in the ancient world because of their medicinal properties. And I burned these before, and what do you think? My whole house smelled like a Catholic church. There was like white smoke coming out of the windows. It makes a lot of smoke, but it smells like a Catholic church. That's what they walk around with the urns with when they're doing mass. It's frankincense and myrrh burning in there. So I was like, oh my God, the neighbors are probably going to think we're electing the Pope or something. I learned my lesson. F around, find out. Do not burn frankincense and myrrh. A lot of it at one time. It smokes really bad. So yeah, and incense is used in the occult for ritual. I'll tell you what. The more I study about demons, I'm going to tell you right now, demons are a bunch of drama queens. Everything's got to be sanitized, and I'm not kidding. They're like little queens. Like, you got to do the lesser banishing of the pentagram. You got to purify the area. You can't eat meat for 24 hours. You got to do this. You got to do that. And I'm like, Jesus can just come anytime we need him. And that's the truth, right? Demons are little drama queens. Like, you got to make everything's got to be just right for them to manifest. This whole, and I'm going to show you the 8 rites, how to do that. You got to do a cleansing ritual, and it's nuts. So apparently, I'm trying to figure out why do Alpha Draconians like incense so much. What is this about? Do they not like the smell of humans, and they want incense burned whenever they are around them? Same thing with the archons. Do these demons actually think that we stink? And laugh if you want, I'm trying to make sense of it. Why do they want us to be drunk? Why do they want us to be high on drugs? And why do they want us to burn incense to make them manifest? And that's the truth. I'm going to read it to you right out of the book of Wicca in a second. So let's watch this short video about more Babylon multimedia.
Together with the army of Alam, his ally, in the plain of Kish. On my return march, the Tamuna, the Ibudu.
Oh wait, I had the wrong chapter queued up. Sorry. Here we go. Frankincense and myrrh. This is a documentary. There we go. We got Camel on there. This is a good YouTube channel. I got to resub to them. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. It's called False Civilizations. They do all ancient history videos, really good ones. So it's hard to find good channels on YouTube that.
Frankincense and myrrh are the resins of 2 different plants in the Burseraceae family, gnarled and stunted trees that grow on the Arabian Peninsula, in India and North Africa. When the bark of these trees is damaged, they have evolved to release resin from their wounds, which forms a glassy seal, protecting the plant's delicate insides from further harm. But trees are also susceptible to bacterial infections, just like we are. And as an extra line of defense, these resins are filled with volatile compounds that kill bacteria and fungi, similar to our own immune system. It's these volatile chemicals that also act in interesting ways on the human sense of smell. And for at least the last 5,000 years, these resins have been used for their antibacterial properties in medicine and for their striking aromas when burned. Frankincense releases a sweet and woody scent with notes of lemon, while myrrh releases a smell that is more like spice, bitterer, with floral overtones. At harvest times, farmers slice gashes into the barks of the trees and collect the milky resins that ooze from within. Once exposed to air and sun, myrrh dries and hardens to reddish-brown, pea-sized chunks, while frankincense dries to pale yellow, tear-shaped droplets. Diodorus of Sicily even claims that the smells were so strong that sailors travelling up the coast of Arabia could smell them as they sailed past. A group of Greek sailors who ran out of supplies on the Arabian coast around the year 300 AD landed on the shore in search of water and stumbled upon a plantation of these trees. They were later interviewed by the botanist Theophrastus, who wrote down everything they told him about the methods of extracting these resins.
They said that on the coasting voyage they landed to look for water on the mountains and saw these trees and the manner of collecting their gums. They reported that with both trees incisions had been made, both in the stems and in the branches. Also that in some cases the gum was dropping, but that in others it remained sticky to the tree, and that in some places mats woven of palm leaves were put underneath, while that which remained sticky to the trees they scraped off with iron tools.
The cultivation of these trees was veiled in secrecy, and this secrecy gave rise to outlandish myths. The historian Herodotus, writing in the 5th century BC...
Now, okay. There's a reason I'm pausing here. Here's how I watch a documentary. You just heard what he said. These are the quote-unquote the myths by Herodotus, right? These are just myths, nothing, and it's going to be about what's guarding these frankincense and myrrh trees. It's pretty interesting.
Recorded the process for harvesting these incenses, along with an account of a supposed race of monsters that guarded them.
Arabia is the furthest of the inhabited lands in the direction of the midday, and in it alone of all lands grow frankincense and myrrh. These are got with difficulty by the Arabians, for these trees which produce frankincense are guarded by winged serpents, small in size and of various colours, which watch in great numbers about each tree, and they cannot be driven away from the trees by any other thing but only the smoke of the storax.
Storax is another resin used by the Greeks, and supposedly it makes these snakes go away. So I'm thinking storax. Does that make Archons not like it in occult ritual? I'm not going to try, but apparently they don't like storax. Interesting, right? That's another resin used for medicinal things too. Now there's other incense they use in the occult. One is called dragon's blood. Could you be any more obvious with a name like that? I've never had dragon's blood. Never smelled it. But yeah, dragon's blood I know is a real popular one with Satanists for obvious reasons, right? And storax is one, I don't know, keeps the reptilians away, I guess. So, and we get on to, now, like I said earlier about Wicca, this guy Gerald Gardner, he infiltrated Wicca. He's a Satanist. He's full, probably a reptilian infiltrator, just like Crowley. He took people that were practicing certain types of protective, like I guess you call it white magic, infiltrated it, and I got it right from his own teachings. This is a book that he wrote called the Gardanian Book of Shadows, and I want you to hear. I'm just going to read you something here. Now, this is really important. The Book of Shadows was attributed to Gardner to an ancient clan sign Claudenstein witch cult, which he claimed to have been initiated into. However, modern researchers have concluded that it was composed by Gardner. The text shows influences from English and Celtic folklore, the Eno-Croatian system of John Doe, Thelema, the Golden Dawn, Strageria, Tantric Yoga, and and the KJV Bible, and even Kipling. So basically, Gardner took all these occult influences and made it his own modern Wicca movement, like Antoine LaVey did with the Church of Satan in the 60s. And he infiltrated it. And he infiltrated it with... Thelema is Aleister Crowley's version of sex magic. And in there, you got something called the Eightfold Way, which is a play on Zen Buddhism, because there's an eightfold path of enlightenment in Zen Buddhism, but it is nothing what this Eightfold Way is. And here's some pictures of Gardner. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? You think this guy is a role model for modern white magicians? Because there's something in this Eightfold Path that deals with what I just showed you. Incense, drug use, and wine, and the scourge. And we'll talk about what the scourge is. That's there's another photograph of him with a demon. Like, it's not a real demon, but yeah. Look. Come on. That's Gerald Gardner, the supposed godfather of modern Wicca, but he is not. And I've met real people that practice Wicca. They do not do this with demons. No. So, he's got ties to secret societies, the Golden Dawn, student of Aleister Crowley, Jack Parsons, the Scientologist L. Ron Hubbard. They're all in the same, all their things teach basically the same thing in different ways. I don't talk about Scientologists for obvious reasons. I don't need the attention. You think the left are bad? Piss the Scientologists off. They're as bad as the left, but they got unlimited money and a lot of power. I just got a Venmo alert on my phone. Thanks for the Venmo. That was... So in here we have the Eightfold Path. Sorry, I'm coughing. And the longest one of the Eightfold Way is all right. The first one is meditation or concentration, obviously. This is part going into, like, you can't do any of this stuff unless you have intent. And that's, look, Harry Potter fans, remember when they got their wand at Hogwarts and they couldn't do magic because they weren't concentrating? They actually have to unlock the pineal gland and get it activated. Then you learn to put yourself into a trance, projection of the astral. Number 3 is rites, chants, spells, runes, and charms. Number 4, incense, drugs, and wine. But it's very interesting because not all drugs. Whatever is used to release this, quote-unquote, the spirit, this is why it's called wine and spirits, like in the liquor store. Incense is usually harmless, but you must be careful. If it has bad after effects, reduce the amount used or the duration of the time it is inhaled. Yes, these incense are psychoactive also. And I didn't tell you that part about frankincense and myrrh. No wonder everyone's happy in church, right? Drugs are very dangerous if it's taken to excess, but it must be remembered that there are drugs that are absolutely harmless, though people talk of them with bated breath. But hemp is especially dangerous. Hemp, marijuana, is especially dangerous because it unlocks the inner eye swiftly and easily, so one is tempted to use it more and more. Yes, the godfather of Wicca, Gerald Gardner, telling you to do drugs, incense, and wine for occult rituals, is telling you that marijuana is dangerous. Marijuana also breaks MK Ultra mind control. So the same people behind this Wicca manual here are the same people behind the CIA and their propaganda about reefer madness. Remember reefer madness, and the guy smokes a joint and goes crazy and runs out the window and starts murdering people? Yeah, that was, and that's because mainly DuPont wanted to start plastics, but now we also find out why too, because of demonic reasons. They don't like it. Lucifer, the demons, the reptilians, the archons, they don't like marijuana. Wow, probably because their mind control doesn't work. So then you got the dance. You want to see a pagan dance? Watch old Ozzy Osbourne dancing on stage. He does it pretty good. Blood control. That's breath. That's getting into yoga, unlocking the chakras through breath. Okay. And then you got the scourge. Anyone know what a scourge is? This is number 7. A scourge. All right, let's look it up. Scourge. A scourge is this. It's bloodletting. Now, you'll see some of them will do this ritual where they actually flog themselves to draw blood. Or it's the scourging of an animal or a human. Bloodletting. Blood magic. So that's what he introduced into Wicca. And that is the biggest red flag. And that is from his own book. I don't go on, see, and then the Great Right. What is the Great Right? To impose your will upon Mother Nature herself. That's taught by Crowley. That's the Great Right. To become a sorcerer and be able to affect the elements at will. Lightning, power, lightning, electric, fire, water. And that's it. But the scourge, yeah. This is not modern Wicca. This is not white magic. Because of this right here, the scourge. That's bloodletting. And you can't use marijuana. Yeah. How about we use marijuana and nobody gets scourged? How does that sound? So there's a little crash course into Wicca. I didn't want to go too much into it because Gerald Gardner I can make a whole nother video about, and I should. In fact, Jack Parsons, Gerald Gardner, Aleister Crowley, Anton LaVey, L. Ron Hubbard, and all these people, they're basically teaching the same system of black magic under different covers, and it's the same exact thing. Scientology teaches you you're infected with a mind parasite, just like the Hermetic Dawn does. It's the same, that's what Scientology is. It's mind control. Duh. So, all right, I'm going to stop there. Can't talk too much about Scientologists. Yeah, they're worse than the left because they got unlimited money and resources, and they can get you canceled real quick. Mess around and find out, right? Tom Cruise has deep pockets. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that was a fun stream, right? That's gonna be all for tonight. My voice is getting raspy. Yeah, if you can hear it, I'm talking, but I had fun. Thanks for everyone who supported the channel. If you can, all the links are in the description. We're gonna stream again tomorrow night. Don't worry. Maybe about the Mandela effect, because this thing about the 1940s telephone that I found is driving me nuts. The 1940s mobile phone. That video's on my channel. It's driving me. Yeah, we're gonna do a Mandela effect video tomorrow. How does that sound? They're always fun. Oh wait, Hogwarts Legacy's gonna be out too. I don't know. Or we're gonna play Hogwarts. But I might play Hogwarts earlier than I normally stream. So who cares, right? Just make sure you're subbed and hit the alert bell, right? I don't know how long it's going to take me to get it downloaded, installed, and set up and running, but I don't care. I want to do the character creation on a live stream. We're going to, and yeah. Because the servers might freeze at Steam. Everyone's going to try to download it at the same time tomorrow. The servers are going to blow up. And then all the activist hackers are going to try to take it take all the sites now. They think they're going to battle tomorrow. They got to take down all the Harry Potter streams. They're going into war mode. Yeah, they're stocking up on soy and all right, I'm done. I'm talking about. All right, that's enough. That's another form of Satanism, is what they're doing. That's a whole nother. Yeah. So, yeah, that's going to be all for the stream. Let me see. If you could support the channel, I would appreciate it. All the links are in the description. Tomorrow, we'll see. I can't download Harry Potter off Steam till like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so I don't think they're letting people pre-download it. And, yeah, so if I do, I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated. Anyway, any questions or comments, leave them below. Oh, no, we're not. Makeup tutorials? No. Yeah, no, we're not doing Greta Von Doom is going to be... Yeah, that's my witch name. We're gonna fight global warming with the dark arts. And see if we can kill all the white people at Hogwarts. Alright, yeah. That'll be later. Anyway, any questions or comments, leave them below. God bless.